Okay, so it's almost 6, I think. And it's so weird because I was last night was the past few nights there is something I don't know how to explain it. That other people could be having, but it's like it's loud. It's like your mind doesn't shut the fuck up, and it's having conversations. It's loud as fuck. There's music going non fucking stop, and it just keeps being all these different songs, and it's like what the fuck, man. And so see, when I went to bed, it was like 6. It was dark. It was cold. Went to bed. Fell asleep in a second. And then I think Stella woke up like 11:30. Woke me up. And she wanted to go outside and stuff. So I go do all that stuff. And then I went to go lay back down. And I could not go back to sleep. I was so uncomfortable. And it was so fucking loud. And I couldn't relax. And so it just seemed like I was awake. Just clicking the time as it went, and I was getting so frustrated, and I just kept trying to relax, but it just kept being so loud and so intense, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so then she started crying again, and that's when it was like almost 5 or something, or it was 5:15 or something, I don't know. And then when she did that, though, it woke me up from a dream. And I was like, oh, so I was asleep, but it didn't seem like it. And I was having the weirdest dream. Hillary was in it. I was like, I don't know, it was weird. I don't know if we were burning there at the stake or what the fuck was going on. It was real weird. Okay, Stella, well, I'm doing this now, so you guys move out of her bed. Is that what you... Oh my God. I am so fucking exhausted of being the fucking slave around here, I swear to God. You know, one thing about time that I've noticed is when it's not going good, it goes slow as a motherfucker. Just a minute. Jesus Christ. Okay, come on, hurry up. Come on, Max, move. You gotta move. You guys can't just take her bed. Move, Archie. There, hurry up, Stella. There you go. Oh my God. So, where are my 2 minutes? I swear to God, the fuckery. I swear to God, it is so fucking nonstop fuckery. I don't even understand how it can be this. Oh God. It's like, I don't know. I know I'm not the only person who's waiting for the shit to break apart. Who's waiting for, you know, an open door to the good stuff. I even, a short that I did the other day when I was sitting up in the parking lot, I said something like, everything, the planets lined up or whatever, and everything was supposed to change. Does anybody's stuff change? Because mine sure fuck didn't. And somebody wrote in the comments, mine didn't either, and I'm really confused. I'm really trying to understand what's happening. Or something like that. Because, I don't know, those people are constantly, I swear to God, they're like a psyop to get us to feel like nothing's real, because they're always, I don't know. I know that timelines are not going to shift. Like, this is something that people need to realize. That this is destiny. Like, what is happening is absolute. There is nothing changing about it. It's absolute. How it plays out is written in the stars, but we don't know what it is. So you can watch as it goes, and it makes sense to me. Oh yeah, of course it's going to go this way, because look at the people, look at this, look at that. And you can see, and it makes sense. And it's easy to get caught up and, you know, tell the universe, hey, I got a better plan for you. You know, why don't you just give the ropes to me and I'll take care of this business. And that's not how it works, though. So everything that is happening is the things that lead up to what happens. So we're in this time period of where everything is structured, and it's going to play out a certain way, and we're playing a role in it, but we don't really know what it is. And so that's like the surprise or something. And I don't know, it's just so weird because there's people who think like you get up every day and like you're surprising your guides. Oh my God, can you believe she did that? Oh my God, can you believe she did? And you got these people who, you know, they are at battle with the universe. You know, you need to change the energy, redirect it. You got to make this life into what you want. And if you're not successful and rich, then you are a loser. So that's absurd. And there's just a lot of, like, the misinformation just isn't in our current political theme of media circus. It's also in this spiritual, like, because it's like some of these people, they seem like psyops or something. Like they're just there to get us to feel disillusioned or like, oh, it's not working and all of that stuff. But it works, but it moves slow. And you have to be directing it. It isn't like with these people, go sit in meditation and just put yourself into the life you want. Just keep envisioning yourself in the life you want, and then you wake up in the life you want. Okay, well, I don't know what planet you're from, and I don't know how it works there. But as far as I understand here, that you have to go towards what you want. You have to go, it's you doing the work towards what it is you want. It's not, you know, sitting back and just focus there, just seeing it into reality, seeing it into becoming real. You have to go towards it. You have to work towards it. And the work towards it is your journey. So along the journey, things happen, and things happen to help you grow and stuff, to grow into where it is you're going. So everything is put together. And when you're not on that timeline, you will always go to the timeline you're supposed to be on. It's just the way it is. I mean, destiny has got the story written, and it's like, it's not gonna make special recommendations for you. It's like the story's written, and everything's fated. Everything has a destined outplay. It's like, it's like, you know, going and renting a movie, and then you want to change the movie in the middle of it or something. Or going and reading a book, and then you think, well, you have a better ending than the author. It's like, we're in a storyline. The storyline is written. And no matter how much you want to shift around and whine and cry, kick your legs, and believe you me, I want to do it all fucking time. I'm so burnt out. And, but that doesn't change anything. And that's where you got to learn how to control your emotions and stuff. Like, you can stomp around, you can throw things, you can cuss, you can cry, you can pull your hair out. It's not going to change it. It just is your reaction. And that is where we're getting opportunities to see our reactions, to see, you know, these sides of ourselves. I mean, you don't see your sides, you don't see your dark sides when you're having a good time, going to parties and just living it up, you know. You see your hard times in times of desperation, of times that are challenging. You know, that's the most challenging times, are the times that you get the most growth. And so, you know, that's one thing too, is that all the people who have been just going around, you know, like just have, it reminds me so much of the Three Little Pigs. It just comes to my mind all the time. And there has been a bunch of us who have been being prepared, building our home with bricks. And then you have the people who, I keep seeing the hay. It's like, it does seem like it's like the bricks are the hay, and the hay is going to just blow away because they're not, they're just not, it's like their energy and attention is all going to the wrong place. And it's all being misled. Like, they're being misled. Like, it's crazy on this blue stuff right now, what they got going. That how misled these people are. And it's by your own biases and stuff. That's the thing. It's like they don't see. They don't see their ego. They don't see their negativity. They don't see their judgmental side. They don't see their biases. They don't see any of that. They think they're justified. They think that everybody else is stupid and stuff. And so that's when the tables are going to turn, and all of a sudden they're going to see themselves. But there's, I don't remember. Some of the stuff is just, it's so crazy. Oh, yeah, okay. Because yesterday, my mom went out to a luncheon. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go put my video on. And yesterday is the one that broke in the middle of the video. So I had 28-minute video and then an hour-long video. So I took them upstairs next to where I think the modem is, and I put them on to download. And I didn't know how to turn off our TV. I don't know where all our stuff is and stuff. So it was still going, and it buffered some because I go up and check. And it kept staying on, but it would buffer. And so I was like, well, maybe it'll get done, then I'll take it down. Or maybe it'll get far enough, then I'll take it down and it won't bother her TV or something. And the smaller video got to halfway. The littler one, or the bigger one, got to like a quarter of the way, and then she got home. And then she was trying to watch her TV. It wouldn't work. So she reset the modem. My whole thing went off. So the I'm just gotta, the weeks, man, I swear to God, the days, the time, the hours, when you're in between money and stuff like that, it's just like, oh my God, it's so tedious. It's just drags. Just like, you know, if I had plenty of money when I went to go download, it would be like no big deal. I'll just go in fucking Starbucks, get myself a tea, get myself a muffin or something, sit there and enjoy the peace away from my slave day. But but no, I'm sitting in a parking lot in the cold, feeling all sketchy, and trying to get my download done. Which my mom is telling me to go to this other place that you have to go up the hill and across. So, and it come out on Indian Trail to that Safeway and Starbucks. But then I don't know if all that route is going to hold me up on my download, because the route I go, it downloads the whole way. And so, and the way I'm going is 3 minutes longer and 3 miles longer off of navigation. And so, but it downloads the whole way. And then I keep thinking, well, it's also gonna be, you know, only a couple more weeks, I'm getting that Starlink thing. I swear to God, I'm gonna pay her the money she needs, because she's got to pay her bills. So pay her back for the money I borrowed and my late car payment and bullshit thing. And so now, which just, you know, all these, I'm so sick of this banking bullshit. I'm so sick. I mean, they can just come and kick you out here. And I know that has also to do with Whatcom County, which there's people who think like blue states are fucking not corrupt. I mean, Jesus Christ, they are so motherfucking corrupt, and the people are just compliant. They just, the overstep is comfort. It's like, it's like, no independence, you know, well, that's what we're gonna do. Whatever. That's fucking, so, so anyways, I'm all over the place. I gotta see. So this morning when I go, I'm gonna get the Starlink, but that's gonna be on my second check, which Social Security, Joe gave us a raise of like $75 or something. So that's a little increase, so that'll help get it. But I'm gonna get that as soon as I can, because it is just a pain, man. You have to go up there and sit for hours, and the weather is gonna get worse. Apparently, it's gonna start snowing and raining and shit. It's been dry and sunny. Now it's gonna be like, oh God, which will suck too, because there's no man doors. I gotta use these giant garage doors. And then, which lets all the cold in, which will let all the rain, the snow, I just, you know, but I'm still unfortunate. I'm lucky, you know. I stopped paying my house and stuff. I just saw a video last night of this girl, and she was younger, and she said, I'm breaking up, or she broke up with her boyfriend because she's moving out, and she wants to live in her car. And he wants to go live in another Airbnb or something. And she said, no, I'm done. I'm done working. I don't like this. I can't do it. I can't work. And then she starts going through this long story about it. She was a sugar baby, so she never really had to work. But she's not somebody who can't work. But that's the thing. Because there's tons and tons of people, neurodivergence, and all our minds work differently. They're trying to make us all comply into a system, and we're all different. And we don't all think the same. We don't observe the same. We don't perceive the same. And so the way that they try and make us conform into these jobs is very difficult for a lot of people, because it's not natural. What's natural is just going out in the world and taking care of yourself, whatever that is, not this dedicating all your fucking life to running on a hamster wheel to keep some fucking other company going. Like, that's not how it's meant to be. But we had to go and play that out. We had to show it. We had to play it out. We had to see, does this work? It doesn't. It doesn't work because it's against the universal laws of nature. It has to, there's a certain flow. There's a certain way that things move. And that is where a lot of people are going to find these, I don't know, karmic entanglements or something. These things of like listening to the wrong people. Which, oh yeah, because the thing I was going to say was Schumer. So when I was going upstairs and I was checking on the video and stuff, Schumer was on. Because the news was still going. And he was on. And then you hear that jackassery. It's like, oh, this is what these people hear. So to me, my take on it is, let's go and move a whole bunch of immigrants into the cities and stuff. And then when Donald gets in there and he wants to get these criminals out, we're going to make a big ruckus about it. And we're going to make all these people feel attacked, feel victimized. And then we're going to make all of these do-gooders, all of these liberal, what is that called? I can't think of the word. You can see it, but then I can grab it thousand. But the do-gooders, that we're going to really provoke them into feeling like, you know, they've got to help them. They've got to, so they create this whole drama. And then Schumer's on there saying, you know, like, oh, how horrible, and Donald's doing this, and it's so dangerous. And I mean, he was building the biggest fucking bullshit drama. I couldn't even believe it. And then the things I've seen, like news clips and stuff like that, like they're going in and they're busting criminal stuff. They're like, one of the busts was 130 fentanyls and stuff. Like, they're busting up the crime that was allowed in here. And then the bad people want to distract it and make it look like he's going against human rights and stuff, but he's not. He's trying to make notice of all of the criminals. Because you look at it from this side, then it's like making a big spectacle to make sure that people see how many criminals were here, all these criminals. But then he's trying to create all this distraction. They're trying to create all this distraction and all of this drama and stuff like that around it. But he is showing, like, you know, the past 4 years they couldn't get this done. He's out there in a week just busting them up, taking them out, flying them. Mexico saying, we're not taking them, like all the drama going on and stuff. And we've sat here for 4 years, you know, with people starting fires, hitting people in the streets, like all about the attacks nonstop. It's all this instigation. It's all of this, you know, trying to prepare. Oh, which they have got the sicknesses going, man. Man, in Kansas, they got the TB going. Sometimes the things they bring back, man. Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't ever think of that. Some of these things, like AIDS, they change the names throughout. Like, they have these certain bugs and stuff, but then they change the names. Oh. So, like, TB was, I mean, they had a whole big TB outbreak, killed tons of people, whatever it was. They turned a lot of, like, there was houses and stuff that had to be turned into hospitals. And TB, like, you can't be around those people. Like, it was a big thing, like, even in the hospital. Like, you had to have all these ventilators, like, it was the whole thing. Like, you don't want to be out there breathing in TB stuff. It's bad. And so they've used that before, but, like, it could be something that they used a long time ago. Only, you know, it was black fever, it was the plague, it was, you know. So, anyways, yeah. Because some of these scientists probably have been around for fucking 100 years. Who even knows if that one guy really even died? Like, they told us all these people died and they didn't really die. They're out there working in NASA and stuff. So who knows? They just have their fake deaths. Maybe that is where fake deaths came into fruition. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. There's so much weird shit in this reality. It's so weird. But it is set. It's set. And it's so weird when I hear people saying stuff, and it's like, every day the things that happen are leading us to the places that we're going. It's the road to get there. It's not like you can change directions. It's your attitude that changes directions. It's how you look at things. It's what you look at that broadens. It's how you look at things. You become more sensitive, more compassionate. So it is things in you that change. The reality has a movement that is going. It's like, think about a somersault. You know, the universe is creating a somersault, and so it's in motion. You can't turn it into a cartwheel. It's a fucking somersault, and it's in motion. And it's, where were you when it went? Where were you when this happened? This is what we're going through, is all of the stuff that leads up to, where were you when this all happened, when this all happened? Because it's all a part of the story. We're just in the storyline. We're going through the storyline. And then you have all these people who don't understand, like, they just, I don't know, they don't seem to understand this place at all. And there's so much of their stuff that they say is based out of fear and control and stuff like that. Which, one thing too, is that this, like I had said something, because the blue states are corrupt as a motherfucker. I don't give a fuck what. I mean, I think probably there's a ton of red ones too, because most of the politicians are corrupt as a motherfucker. And all these people just are like, well, Donald's in, he'll fix it. It's like, okay, well, I believe that we're all supposed to start standing up. We're all supposed to start going in that direction. We're all supposed to start saying, hey, I'm not putting up with this. Hey, I'm not putting up with that. Just like that girl who had said, I'm not going to work anymore. This is bullshit. And this isn't how we're meant to live. And I can't do it. I can't live like this. I'd rather live in my car. See, there's people, I knew there was people like me. I can't sit here in good faith, sit here and send a check to people who are, that's illegal. Like, it's, no, I can't do it. And even if I lost, you know, my home in to the corruption, it was like, well, if that's what it takes to pull out of it, then I guess that's what it takes to pull out of it. And I still know this is temporary. I still know, like, there's good stuff coming. It's just, it's tedious. It's tedious, and when it's long and drawn out, and it's hard, and it's frustrating, and it's tiring, and it's just a lot of stuff, you know, where it's just like, but I was yearning for change at the other house too. I was like, God, something's got to change. And one thing is I haven't had the stomach flu. No stomach flu since I left that place. I knew it was something in the fog over there that was making me sick. I knew it. And the dog, Archie, constantly had a runny nose. His nose isn't running at all. Max with the puking, no, I don't know. He could have eaten something that, I'm just going to go with the horse paste. It's like the answer to everything. I don't know what else to do. Is just to do the, try and get the, cleanse him, try and get everything out. And I have the break on Stella, so I'm starting her back on. And putting it on topically on her chin thing, I really think it's helping it. And this thing is weird, because it does these weird eruption things where it's like, God, what all is in here? So hopefully it keeps doing that and just gets it all out. But I keep putting it on there too, which I'll show you my tooth while we're at it. So I haven't even looked at it. So, and I can't see it as good on here. Like, look at that, how much better it looks. And don't forget too, before it ever broke, months before that, I was already showing it, because it had that black spot on it where the filling was, and I wasn't sure what was going on. I had got the Knobs toothpaste because I thought I needed to build the enamel back up, but obviously the like that dentist said, the fillings are stronger than the teeth and it broke off. But I also feel like that's why the cavity was going behind it, was to push it out. Like, I feel like my body was rejecting it, however it went. And so that I had showed, there was a black. I think this is better than that now, how it was looking before it broke. So, and however long it takes. So it takes a few months to heal, but still it works. And you still got to be careful. Like, it's still as sensitive. Just like, you know, if you fell down and you skinned your knee, how your knee would be super sensitive for a long while. That's what it reminds me of. So, anyways, but it definitely works. Definitely works. Your teeth know how to heal themselves, which makes sense. Like, I know our whole bodies know how to heal themselves. Which I saw this girl. Okay, so my mom has been telling me since I got here. She's brought up the the popular OZ. Finish that word. That they're pushing. She said they are pushing this so hard. I can't even believe how hard. And they want all these kids on it and stuff. And she must be seeing some of the negative stuff about it too. I'm not sure. But she had just mentioned that a few times. So yesterday I saw this girl on, it was a young girl too. And she was put on it. She's in the video she's talking, she's skinny as can be. So I don't know if she was chunky, because it's, you know, it's how they work our society. Here, let's pump them up and then let's sell them the magic. And that will cause more destruction. And, you know, and the way to solve it all is you to take responsibility for yourself, you know? And I know that they've got a lot of people metabolically really fucked up, and it's really hard to lose weight when you got a metabolic fuck up series going on, and then when you haven't been taught how to eat and stuff. So I know that, you know, it's not so much the people, it's the system of what we're in, but you got to break free from the system, and you got to find that ignition inside of you, this spark inside of you of like what you will, you know, I'm not going to do that. Just like that girl, I'm not going to go and work. I'd rather live in my car than go and live like this. This isn't, you know, to go work all day so you have a place to come back and have a bed and stuff. And which, you know, when they were showing the propaganda with China, you know, and they have to work all the time and they have to sleep and they're at work and stuff. There was a girl who was in China, and she said it is the most laid back. I mean, in the middle of the day, you don't have a lunch hour. You take as long as you want. People drink during lunch all the time. That's totally normal. During breakfast, like, people drink a lot there, apparently, from what she said. And your work hours are way less. And just if you feel like taking a nap at work, they just have a bed there. So if you just feel like taking a nap, you can take a nap. It's totally up to you. You want to go out and drink all day? It's totally up to you. Like, you don't have a master over you all the time, checking the time, get on your time. You know, it's not like that there. It's very self-driven, and you have everything to make it comfortable for you, which is very misleading to how they sell us the propaganda. Because they were like, these people have to work. They don't even get to ever go home. They have to sleep in the cell. I don't even know about the dog crate thing in the hallways now, where they were showing the people who had to live in these dog crates because it's so expensive in the apartments and stuff. I don't know. It's all fucking... all the countries are lied to about each other. That's just part of this whole thing. We're all lied to about all these different places. So, yeah, those people have, or they tell us, you know, that it's like they're the slaves. We're the fucking slaves. And then we're expected to go and work overtime. There's people who have kids that are working 2 and 3 jobs. It's like, you got a family you need to be raising, not just working 2 or 3 jobs. And I keep having these weird things where I'll turn and I'll think of something else, and man, it's weird. So weird. Like, I thought that, I don't know. I gotta find my water down my throat. And see, I thought the table was over here. And when I turned, I'm having the weirdest stuff in this reality or realm or whatever. These weird visual things. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. So, anyways, the the blue is being totally misled by propaganda and the media and stuff, and they're all going off the chain, and they but supposedly that there is some that are being taken, but to me those would be like more of the leaders in those organizations and stuff, and those ones will go down to show, because it's like these kids don't realize like they're committing treason. Like it's really bad. Like that is, we're about to see a lot of people get a red tie over this crime, and then you got all these people like they are trying to take all these people down with them, but it's not like they're trying to take them down with them. It's trying to get, they're trying to switch the balance. They're trying to get the people who are on their side to outweigh the people who want independence, but it won't happen. It's written in the stars. This is all written in the stars. This is a story that was written long ago. This is, and one thing is that where you can realize it was written long ago is like there's all these like prophets and stuff that talk about this time. Like there's no changing it. This is, we came in to ride this wave. And I saw a thing yesterday about a bunch of prophets talking about this period of time was going to be very significant in our growth with dogs. They said dogs are going to play a really significant role. This is like a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, these people were saying this. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Because they are just the mass slaughter that is happening for these innocent beings is so crazy. And that it is a part of our empathy, but to push that empathy button inside of you, that compassionate side of like how outrageous this is, and this isn't right. And then so it is. And then it was talking about there was something, one of them was talking about a white dog. Once this white dog is seen, then everything's going to start changing or something. And but the relationships, they said that all the people who have relationships with dogs through this are going to have a lot easier time. That it's going to be a lot more, you're going to find a lot more support and love and stuff, the people who have their dogs. And there was a whole thing, I don't know, and it was a bunch of parts. I only saw this one part, but anyways, I'll share it if people want to look into it more. But I just thought that's so fascinating, this whole thing with the dogs, when there is such a mass slaughter going on, and that is like martyrs showing the problem. And so that is, this is a big role. Like, it is a big role to start saying this isn't okay. You can't just kill them, and you can't just kill them for space. Like, this is not right. This is against their rights. And we all have free rights. And it doesn't matter if they say these are domesticated animals or whatever. There are cities that figure out how to make it work. There's one, I don't know, it may have been in Turkey or wherever it is. I don't know. But they, the city takes care of the dogs. Like they're all tagged. And if you see one that's not tagged, then they get them and they go and they give them all their little things, which I think we got to get away from some of this. The RABIES one now, there's people who are finding it gives CANCR to their dogs. And it starts at the site. So watch the site, apparently. And which Stella's had like 3 of those. And she gets those sores. It's just one thing after another. Here, this will fix you. No, it won't. It's going to make me sicker all the fucking time. And so but they have these tags on them and stuff. And it shows that they are, like the city dogs. And they've got thousands, I don't know how many, they've got tons. And they fix them and stuff so they don't keep having more babies and stuff, that's even, sterilizing something, that's, everything has its own rights. And we are just bypassing other beings' rights because we feel like we know what's right. And so, anyways, so in the town or the city or state or wherever this place is, that that all the people just interact with the dogs, they feed them. It's like everybody just takes responsibility, and there's dishes everywhere, there's water everywhere, like, and it's like the dogs are the patrollers of the city, you know, they're out there taking care of things and stuff. And so there's ways to do it. There's ways to work in unity. There's ways to make things better. We've built our world into such a phony, fake, consumption-driven, every man's out for themselves. They don't give a shit. And I mean, all these breeders are out there just breeding away, and they don't give a shit how many dogs are being killed every day and stuff like that. It's heartbreaking. But these are all the things that create the change. All this horribleness is what drives us into this new way of being. So we have to go through this. There's no way getting around it. It's, you know, like I said, it's written in the stars. It's the script that we came here to play out. And the faster you get into the groove, there's one thing too, yesterday, I was like, you know, there's so many people who think they're in the wrong place all the time. Well, I should be over there. Well, I should be doing that. Well, I shouldn't be here. I should be there. How do I get over there when I'm over here? You know, that is like all their focus. And when you start realizing you're exactly where you're supposed to be, you're always exactly where you're supposed to be, that's when you can start asking the questions. What am I doing here? What am I supposed to be getting out of this? Why am I here right now? And what am I supposed to be getting out of it? And, you know, to me, like, just some of the interactions with my mom definitely gives me insights. It gives me perspective. There is healing through all these things. And it's weird stuff too. Like, there can be weird stuff. Like, I'm working on the blankets, you know, and I'm getting down to the last couple skeins. So I'm working on that, and I was talking something about it, and it's always my younger sister. Oh, well, you know, she's knitting. Well, when I was knitting, she was crocheting, and I'm crocheting. Oh, she's knitting, and then her husband, he got a spindle. He's spinning his own stuff, but it's always so funny because whatever I'll talk about, and you know, I could take it as like, oh, you know, of course I'm always doing the wrong thing. She's always doing the great thing. But, or it can also, you know, it could be a lot of different things. So I was thinking, well, it could be because my mom doesn't knit or crochet, and she doesn't really have anything to talk about with this. So she's just like, oh, well, you know, she's doing this and she's doing, you know, it's just to be in the conversation. It's just so weird because when we assume how we assume, it is really representative of our own attitude. And I have noticed that so much with people. Just this whole thing with this, Elon thing. And now there's a thing going around, well, Taylor did the same thing. So is that, you know, and because all these people who are like, oh, well, he's, you know, Yahtzee and stuff. And it's like, for one thing, I don't see that. I don't see him doing that thing. Those soldiers did not hit their heart and then throw out the love. That's not what those soldiers were doing. So anyways, I saw something different. But we're all going to see what we're supposed to see. We're all going to see what it is that we need to see for our own healing. And it's just weird because we're still at this time where it's like everybody's going into, it's like everybody's been lined up for a long time at this house of mirrors. Everybody's been waiting outside in this line. And it's like they've opened it up and people are starting to go in, and they've been going in for a while, but there's a whole bunch to go. But once you get into the room of mirrors and you start seeing yourself from different angles, and you start seeing all these different sides of yourself that you didn't know about, that you don't like, you wish you weren't like that. You wish you weren't a weak-ass bitch. You wish you weren't snotty. You wish you weren't judgmental. You know, all the things where it's like, God, I don't like that. I don't like this. And that's, you know, learning about ourselves, because once we can see it, then we can do something about it. It's up to you. You know, you're the one who's deciding what's broken and what's not broken. And nobody else can know that. And when anybody else is trying to tell you, they're overstepping. They have no clue. They don't know what's going on inside of you. That's an illusion on their part. And it comes from their own ego of them thinking like they know what they don't know. I mean, and so anyways, but that's all lessons and entanglements and karma and all sorts of stuff going. But the more that you can become defined in your own self, with your boundaries and stuff, as that is important. That's an important part of it. And it's not just surrounding yourself and isolating yourself with boundaries, turning yourself into an inmate of your own boundaries. But, you know, like, nobody can say anything to me. Nobody can talk to me that way. Nobody can do this. Nobody can do that. You know, you got to get out of that. You got to, you know, learn how to let things just wash off. Just other people's attitude shouldn't affect you so much. You got to start seeing like, oh, their attitude comes from their own broken shit. It's not my problem. And everybody's got their own broken shit. And it makes them look at things in a certain way through their own experiences. And it makes them see things through a certain lens. And so you just got to let it go. You can't sit here and be so caught up in it. But when you're caught up in it, it's because you have a thread of yourself that you are trying to have them make you feel good about yourself. And that is so fucking much with relationships, man. So much. What was that one? I saw this girl talking. What was it? Because it was making me think like, man, people put, man, was it a guy talking about people put so much on other people. Oh, that's what it was. Because it was a couple I saw, a couple of different things I saw, but yesterday it was kind of being driven home because it was like this one was this guy, the girl's videotaping. Some of this stuff you don't even know, is this real? Or this is a setup? They're just doing this for views. But so she's sitting on the couch and she's videotaping him, and he's in the kitchen having a fit because, well, you don't like me anyways. Everything I do is wrong. So he forgot their anniversary or something. So why don't you just leave? And I've been in those fucking fights a zillion times. And the thing is what I was seeing was like, that is the toxic results of when you need other people to make you feel better. You need this person. Oh yeah, because one of the things was this movie I had put on. I didn't finish it. It came on. It was Valerie Bertinelli. It was really old, and she married some guy. She was a waitress. She married some guy, and then she started falling apart. She everything, like her mind started just going crazy, and she started falling apart. And I was seeing like the pressure on trying to make other people happy. Like you can't just try and make other people happy, and other people shouldn't be dependent on you to make them happy. My stomach's growling like crazy. Let's see, I would go download and have a donut and some tea, but I'm broke as fuck, living in a garage. So, anyways, the waiting for my check to get so I can get some thing to download with. So anyways, that it creates such a toxic environment with people, and people always think, well, I'm the one being abused. Both people feel that way. Both people feel that way. There's so many men who are like, well, you don't like me anyways. Everything I do is wrong. Is the women, then they start being, well, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. This will make me happier. That will make me happier and stuff like that. We've got to figure out how to make our own selves happy. You know, it can't be riding on somebody else. It can't be, that creates a distance. It creates a barrier. And the more that we can figure out how to make our own selves happy, and then be with people who make them own selves happy, then we can come together and, you know, have more fun. Not this like tug of war over who's right and who's wrong, who's going to make who happy, who needs to comply, who needs to change and stuff like that. And when you're in a relationship where you keep being unhappy, it could possibly be you've outgrown it. You know, if it's real important to you that this guy, and I was a person who never remembered my anniversaries. So if you were a person who that's really important to, then, you know, you need to find somebody else who that kind of stuff is really important to. Because when you're in the vibration of healing, it's going to push you into figuring out what is it that what's important to me? What do I want? Who am I? What am I doing here? And everything in life is to get you to be this other version of yourself, to grow out of your pain and suffering, to grow past it. And so you're going to have challenging relationships to promote those things, but that's where everything has been flipped backwards, where people just become victims. And poor me, and I'm a narcissist and all that stuff. So all of these things, yeah, that's why the lights have to come on. That's why the people have to see, you know, there's things you can do to make things better, but you have to take responsibility. You got to take responsibility for your own emotions, for your own behaviors. You can't be blaming other people and everything else. But when you're in those toxic relationships, that's what it's like. It's just a tug of war, blaming each other. You hurt me, because we're not in alignment. We're there with this person so we can learn from them. And what you're always learning is what it is that you really want. What do you really want in life? How do you want to be treated? How do you want people to look at you? How do you want to be seen? What is it you want to be seen about, and who for, and talking about what, and stuff like that. So it's you figuring out who you are without all of this negativity and control. But the negativity and control beats some people down, but others, it just makes them resistant. Like, you know, like I was getting divorced all the time. Like, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. But always thinking like once I could see, you know, oh, I'm the common denominator. I'm the one who keeps allowing these people into my life. And even if they come and knocking at the door, but when you don't have good boundaries and stuff, when they come knocking and you open the door and they say, hey, I'm here to stay, then it's like, oh, okay, well, okay, he must really like me. It's like, oh my God. So there's just a lot to learn in life. There's a lot to learn, and we're all on this journey to learn. And so it is way more when you can start seeing like you're always where you're supposed to be. Like, I have to remind myself that all the time. You're always right where you're supposed to be. And, you know, the things that you're going through are the things you're supposed to go through. It's always leading you to where you want to go. And when you have an idea of where you're going and you're putting in the work, you're going and you're taking the steps to go where it is that you want to go, or whatever it is. To me, it isn't just like you wake up and go, where do I want to go? And then you start going. No, to me, it was like the universe started showing me. It started telling me and showing me and telling me what to go do to get to where I was going. And that's where it like, we're all here on different journeys. That's what mine's about. Mine is about like, they showed me, this is where you're going, this is what you're doing, and this is what you need to go to do to get there. And so I start going in the direction that they tell me, and start doing the things that they tell me, and start going. And then when things go like this and you think like, well, it's not working, that's not true. Just because that you are having things go is also a space to be filled. So letting go of all those things, which is so trippy to me too, is like of all the relationships, like all these relationships with all these people that I had here, and now I'm here and I think about like, well, you know, I could go over to somebody's house and download and sit and visit and stuff like that. But it's like, it's not, I mean, my kids, like, but I'm not going to push myself on my kids. Like, they need to heal whatever wounds it is. And, you know, because I don't want toxic relationships. I don't want relationships where it's a battle zone and stuff. So when they feel like that they can see me as a human and have a relationship with me as an adult, then I'm totally, you know, good with that. But I don't want this like battle, you know. So if they don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to sit there and have a fit like, oh, you're going to talk to me, whatever. It's like, no, have your space, figure it out for yourself. And but But it made me think about all the different friends and stuff I've had over time while I was here. And it was just like, there's just no friend that I want to go. It's like I grew past all of that. It's like, and they could have grown too. I'm not saying that I'm the only one who grew, but I grew out of those relationships. There's no relationship there that I'm like, oh, I'd love to go back and see what they're doing or talk to them or something. It's just like, I don't know. I just changed a lot. I mean, I bitch about it, but I would rather go sit in a parking lot by myself than go, knock on somebody's door and be, hey, let's hang out. What are you doing? I don't know. I'm just not. To me, I'm way more the pig that's focused on building their house with bricks and really, you know, and being more prepared. I saw this girl, and she was raised in a tribe, and she said that there was a giant hurricane or something coming when she was a kid, and so she went out and she told the hurricane, "You're not coming to my house, and you're not wrecking my stuff," and the hurricane didn't. And so she's saying, all these people are trying to get prepared and getting scared and get your batteries and get this and get that. And so there must be a huge wave of that going again. And she said, you got to understand your own power of being able to say, you're not coming here or whatever. And to me, that is kind of like the same thing where it is like, kind of like where, to me, like these big disasters and stuff are meant to wake people up. And I was like, I'm not going to be in one of those disasters because I've already woke up. It doesn't make any sense to me. And so I, push that away. That's not what I'm going to go through. And that could be like what she's saying too. It's like, but if it's something you're meant to go through, then you're going to go through it. And then it would be like you would look back and go, God, I should have listened about getting the batteries and stuff. They're all lessons. And so that can be, a part of her lessons. Like we all have different things that we're here to learn and experience. And so just don't get, I just feel like there's a lot of people who just, get real caught up on this matrix, and you can control, you can jump realities, and then they keep being like, well, why is nothing changing if I'm jumping realities? They're jumping us through realities and stuff like that because it's an illusion or something. We are on this storyline, and even if that stuff is a part of that storyline, it's still the same storyline. This is still the storyline that we came in to ride out, to go towards this age of Aquarius where everything changes. And it's the Jubilee. It is the heaven on earth. It's where man has his sovereignty, his freedom. But there's things to do to get there. Just like when they were showing me what it was, where I was going, it wasn't going to just be like, oh, you're going to sit here today and then you're going to be there tomorrow. No, and it's been years. And you are going towards it. You're doing the work to get there. And so you stay on that track of going towards what it is that you are going towards, your manifestation. And you're manifesting it, but going towards it. And so that is a part of it. And I don't know, it's like, all this timeline jumping and stuff like that to me is just like, I'm just on this, and all these things happen, and I just keep going towards this. The interactions happen. You look at them as like ways to learn and grow and stuff like that. And then you just keep going in that direction and trusting in the direction you're going. The doors will start to open. Things will start coming towards you. The things are already there in place. And I was on a very negative timeline, in the start of all of this stuff, because I was sick. I was dependent on the medical. I was in bad relationship after bad relationship. I was a workaholic. I didn't have great relationships, because I don't just look at it as like the guy relationships. I look at it as my friends' relationships too. It's like, I don't know. I'm like I'm ready for the new me to go out into the world and have new relationships, not try and piece together old relationships that were in that toxic pool of learning. And so now, I don't know, it's just like I'm ready for something different, and just keep going towards it. But it was always the steps you were going to take. Like whenever I changed timelines, it was always going to happen that way. It was always going to be that exact trigger, that exact moment, those exact things that all led up to it that got me to have those things that changed. And it's so crazy too, because even if you go back to things, you just see like all these certain little things that all lead to the thing that you're going towards. I don't even know if this is making sense, because maybe you have to have this perspective to understand what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, I all I can say is that this storyline was written a long time ago. It's set in stone. You want to be on a different timeline or something, then you got to get out of this ride. You got to leave this storyline. You got to go. And or it's always the change you were going to make when you were going to make it, and then you go on a more positive timeline. But these people who, these are the people who want to leave the matrix. You think all you got to do is say 1 0 1 1 0 1 2 0, whatever the fuck, then you leave the matrix and shit. Like these people they're the ones who think all the other human beings are NPCs and stuff. So I just look at it different, much different than a lot of these awakened spiritual people are. But this big awakening, because there's about to be a whole bunch of people inside this room of mirrors, and it's like they're all going to get in there, and then the lights are going to come on, and all they're going to be able to do is see themselves. And it's going to be kind of shocking. But then once they start seeing themselves, then it's going to be like, they're not going to like what they see. That's when things are going to get crazy. And there's going to be so many people at once. There's going to be so many people at once, man. So many. And then you got that ego of the people in the red, man. And they think like they got all the answers. Jesus and all that stuff, religion and all that stuff. But that's all going to fall apart. That's all going to fall apart, I imagine, with first contact. I don't know. We'll see how it all keeps playing out. But yeah, I still say expect the unexpected. And anything can happen in a split second. Like, that's what you got to remember, too. Change happens in a split second. And so it can feel like everything is just dragging, and all of a sudden it just boom. So that's what... but it's not like you need to be in fear, because, you knew what the storyline was before you came here. We're not just creating it as we go. It's a ride. It's a storyline. It's a story. It's a movie. It's a book. It's a written in the stars storyline. It's the evolution of man. It's Earth and Earthlings and this evolution of change, and who knows what all is going to come out of this. Like, I think we're going to start interacting with other beings for sure. There's somebody who just had, which Alaska's got no snow. The people in Alaska are like freaking the fuck out. Like, there's no snow. It's like 40 degrees and it's supposed to be like 20 below. And so they're like, but when the poles change, they had said, I heard this a long time ago, that the north was going to become more tropical and the south was going to become more cold. And that's what we have going. Alaska is 40 degrees, and down in the south they have snow and stuff. So the people in Alaska were saying that people in Florida had more snow than they had. And I saw one girl complaining because she delivers or something with her dogs on the snow. So she has a dog, one of those dog things, and she takes her supplies and goes and delivers them or whatever. But there's no snow. So she has to drive her truck around or something. Anyways, everything's out of whack. And so, everything's out of whack, and things are everything's doing different stuff. Things are moving different. Sounds are so loud to me. And the helicopters that keep coming over. I'm like, are they trying to just keep putting helicopters over so we just stop paying attention or something? Because this is weird. At my house, there was kept being them. Here, there keeps being them. It's like, I don't know. I just know that anything can change in any split second. It's not to be fearful, but the more that you are prepared for the lights to go out or food or whatever, the more you're going to not be panicked, the more you're not going to fall apart, the more you're going to be like, okay, don't worry, we got this. We got, stuff to eat. And it's just the more that we think, for ourselves, the more we prepare. It shouldn't be scary. I mean, and if it keeps being really scary, it's because you need to work on your fear and try and understand, like, where does your fear come from? Because you got to remember that you are an orb in an avatar. Your orb is what is real. The avatar is a part of the storyline. It's just the part that you came in to play. I see it like a hand going into a puppet or something. It's like your orb going into this puppet to play out this role of this storyline. And so it's but your orb has a real existence, a real life, a real, it is based on the God's laws, the natural law of order. And so it has a different world that it has an understanding of, but people are so distant from their soul that they don't give it much value. And so the more that you can tune into the side of you, the orb side, the energetic side, the side of you that is the real side, and even if it sounds crazy to people, I've come out of my body. I've had so many paranormal, supernatural experiences through my life, but I've come out of my body. And when I came out of my body, and I didn't know I was out, I was just walking to the bathroom. And then when I looked back and I saw my body, and then I got sucked back in. But what I always took away from that was like, oh my God, I was the exact same person outside of my body. My body wasn't giving me anything. It wasn't giving me a brain to think. It wasn't giving me feet to walk. It wasn't giving me anything. I was the exact same out of my body. So you are who you are. This is an illusion. And as much as you want to get caught up in it, it's still an illusion. And so I don't know how else to say it. And I gotta get wrapping this shit up because I'm gonna go download in a little while. Friday, she's gonna go to another luncheon thing, so I'm gonna try going up there, turning off the TV. Tomorrow I'm gonna do shorter ones because the 28-minute one was going pretty fast. So I'm gonna try and do some shorter ones and see if I can't download them Friday while she's at her luncheon and see if those don't go on. So if not, then Saturday morning I'll go and download them. But then we've also got this snowstorm coming, and it keeps changing days and stuff. But now we've moved out of all the sunny. Now we're going into cloudy, cold, rainy, and snowy. So yay. So anyways, just remember, it was out of all of the stuff that I talk about that is off from other people's ideals, is the main thing that I see that we got going on. The best direction you can always go is learning how to love yourself, how to love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it is totally up to you. So I will talk to you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.